Morality seems to change with the times in the atheist community. Why are morals so subjective within the atheist community? No. Again, you show clearly how absolutely ignorant you are. Morals are not absolute. But that does not mean that morality is therefore completely subjective and everybody can do whatever the hell they please. Morals are informed by a number of things. First of all, by every sane person, try and put yourself in the position of a sane person. I know it's hard, but try. Every sane person, every person with a normally developed human set of emotions, has the ability to empathize with other people. And that is a very big part of what informs an atheist's sense of morality. An atheist also takes part in a community. In the larger sense, it's a society in which the atheist participates. And that also informs a set of morals. And those morals, even whilst they aren't actually absolute, those morals are very much stable over long periods of time, and for practical purposes could be treated as if they were absolute, even though we always have to remember that they aren't, and we always have to be able to subject such morals to revision in the light of the changes in the society around us. That is the true picture of morality, not a amoral free-for-all in which everybody just does whatever they please. Why, if you are an atheist, do you spend so much time speaking about religion, especially the Christian faith? Well, I don't specifically concentrate on the Christian faith, but since I am talking to you, today I am. And the reason why atheists talk about religion so much is very similar to the reasons why doctors talk about diseases so much. Because it is something that is fascinating them, and if somebody goes to the point where they call themselves an atheist because of their convictions and they want to talk about it, then they are usually people who have spent a lot of time thinking about this subject and are therefore, in a sense, equipped with a little bit of expertise on the subject, just like doctors are equipped with expertise on the subject of diseases. That's the only way in which I want to lay this analogy. I am not one of these people who claims that religion is a disease, so please do not put those words in my mouth. Why does so many of your interests, art and entertainment, center around human suffering and tragedy? Does this reflect an inner turmoil because of the absence of God? No, of course not. The reason why so many of our interests reflect your art and so on, and entertainment, center around human suffering and tragedy, as well as comedy and love and enjoyment and all those human emotions, is because we are fully human beings. And we participate in our society as the gregarious species that we are, because we empathize with other human beings, we interact with other human beings, we are always engaged in this beautiful dance with other human beings, setting up relationships, talking to them, interacting with them, connecting with them emotionally, and that is what we do as human beings. And that is why we are so interested in as human beings. And art and entertainment are ways in which we formulate this, formalize it, and enjoy it in a stylized way in theaters, films, tragedies, whatever, books, novels, and so on and so forth, paintings, music. That is what we do as human beings. That is why it has nothing to do with inner turmoil. I have some turmoil, but it's not inner, and it's not about the absence of God. I have some issues with why people, based on their belief in some God or other, feel that it is perfectly okay to sit in judgment over other people. Now, that is not really my problem. Everybody sits in judgment over other people, but then proceeds to condemn those people to things like eternal suffering. That is what bothers me. And that is why I want to talk about it so much. If Jesus were physically alive today and preaching the same message as he did before, would you accept his teaching as being valid and viable to your community and your own personal life? Now, obviously, Jesus' teachings were full of fairy tale concepts such as God and heavenly fathers and kingdoms of heaven and I don't know what sort of nonsense. And of course, I would never be able to accept that. Having said that, Jesus also had a number, or at least to the person of Jesus are attributed, a number of pretty sound social ideas, which I would be able to accept. I quite like, for example, Jesus' ideas about turning the other cheek, in that that would shame the person attacking you into a position in which they are clearly exposed as being unfair, and so on and so forth. Some of those ideas are very good. For somebody living 2,000 years ago, or somebody purportedly living 2,000 years ago, he had a number of really good ideas. But his message as a whole, including all the supernatural hullabaloo around it, get real. Considering all the opinions you express about the dangers of religion, opinions I express about the dangers of religion, and the world's problems, why don't you offer any solutions to the problems on a specific level? Again, who are you talking to here? I think I have, in the issues that I've raised, also tried to think of solutions. I've tried to offer solutions. But even if I haven't, or even if you're talking to an atheist who hasn't, does that matter? Does that mean that the original problem that they're highlighting does not exist? It is one thing to identify a problem and to show why it is a problem. It is quite another thing to be able to then take that understanding and see a solution to the problem. It may well be that there are aspects of religion, specifically intolerance, for example, the sort of intolerance that you are so well known to be expressing, that there might actually not be solutions for. It would be a very bleak situation indeed, but it is possible. Just because somebody doesn't know what the solution to a problem is, does not mean that they aren't qualified to identify a problem. So what sort of a question is that? Think about that. Like I said, I have no illusion that I will be able to reach you personally, Jesus freak. You are way too indoctrinated in your rigid set of beliefs, and you're not even willing to listen to the things that I said. But I hope that somebody else will listen to this. Somebody else will see this and listen to it and take something away from it, even if you don't. Goodbye.